Ms. Girton in the house. Emily Boxing.
What's
How
up,
you doing,
Emily?
Emily?
Happy to be here. Thanks for having me. I'm trying to share this.
Listen, thank you so much for actually giving us the opportunity to interview you down
Been
here.
long overdue. It's been
Long overdue.
I know. Sorry.
No,
Listen,
I know
it's
you're a
been
busy
coming.
person.
It's been
I know
coming.
She's one of the hardest workers, whether they love or hate you.
Yeah.
You're the hardest worker. One of, I do definitely know that.
People
I know you
hate
got
me.
a lot of
I
friends.
didn't know.
No, he went straight to it. He said, whether they love or hate you,
I'm like,
what
is
hate?
there something you need to tell me? I didn't realize I had people that hate me.
Hey, when you're getting hate on, that means you're doing something good, though. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
And you are doing something great.
Yeah, I
You're
appreciate
doing
that.
the most.
Appreciate
Known
that.
professionally as Emily Boxing. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What is it that you do within the boxing game?
I'm 5'1". Let's see. I do event support primarily and public relations. So I help promoters and boxers put their best foot forward. So here, I work with Trina Ochoa here in Phoenix. I work with David Benavides. You might have heard of him.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone has.
Both of them actually. Trini's been very successful here recently too. So
Yeah.
shout out to Trini Ochoa too, and
Trini is our
Benavides.
140-pound USNBC WBC champion. So, he's taking a little break, but he'll be back in the fall. And we have David obviously, and but more of my time these days is spent doing event support, like helping put on events, like logistical stuff. So a lot of my time, I've got like 8 shows coming up, and so I do all the like.
You do a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
We definitely, that's what we were
Yeah.
about to say, right?
Do a lot
Because
of
for
traveling.
everybody at home that's listening in, Emily Boxing, she just doesn't do fights here in Arizona. We're talking about somebody who's within the
game.
boxing game,
She is
who she
deep
goes
in
nationally
the
all over
game
the
of
place
boxing.
and doing things. It's always a wonderful thing to see how many things you're doing and see how active you stay. I'm glad you're blessed and very successful at what you do.
I appreciate that.
And I appreciate you giving us the time.
Amen.
Finally.
Happy to be here. happy to have gotten in.
So
Yeah,
tell
man.
me the truth. Is the reason why you wouldn't come down here for so long because you dislike Rob? Because I
Well,
understand if that's the reason.
I mean, I walked in and he's like, "So about the people that hate you," and I was like, "But no, you know what? I travel like you said a lot, and I gotta be honest with you. I just like to be at home, like all the time. So when I don't go out. Like I meant to, go see the Canelo fight at you guys' place,
Yep.
and I didn't make it. I'm just bad at leaving the house when I'm home. I just like to be home with my family.
I can't even be mad at that because when you're always on the go, you're basically living in a freaking suitcase.
Yeah.
When you get in your domain, you're like, do I really want to get up and get out? I can understand. Now,
Yeah.
mind you, I'm a homebody myself.
Uh-huh.
I don't need to travel as much as you do. I see, girl,
Listen.
respect to you. You know I got number love. We go way back, and you've helped us build the brand in so many levels in regards to your doors that you can offer to us, and we cannot even thank you enough. Other than the fact that we present this to you and give you the best opportunity to express and tell everybody about your story.
I appreciate that. Yeah, no, happy to have the opportunity to be here, for
That's
real.
great.
Listen, I'm personally glad that I'm actually down here interviewing you and giving you a chance to talk. Last time when I got a chance to interview you
Yeah,
down at the Celebrity
same.
Theater, oh my God, did I fumble the ball there, right? I was asking you questions and I wasn't even letting you answer. So,
That's okay.
I apologize then. Hopefully I'm doing a better job of it now. You know
No,
what I
you're
mean?
good. You're good.
Listen, so what do you got coming up right now here in the next couple months with some of your fighters?
Let's see. Next Saturday, I am in Portland for an MMA event with World Fighting
Nice.
Championships. So I'm working on that. And then July 5th, we have Del Sol Boxing, as you know, at American Royal Palace.
American Royal Palace.
American Royal
That's
Palace,
the venue.
1915 West Thunderbird.
Thunderbird, right?
Yep.
Yes.
And if you need tickets, I need you to contact me. Emily Boxing on Instagram, Emily Boxing on Twitter, Emily Boxing on Facebook. I need
Y'all heard that. She needs to get some of these tickets
I
off,
need
and she's
to move
got them.
these
So
tickets.
Emily Boxing on Instagram, Facebook, all of
Twitter.
it. That's what it
Or
is, right?
X.
So on all of it,
X.
it's gonna be
Blue
Emily
Sky.
Boxing. Get at her. She got them tickets.
Friendster, MySpace.
All of it. Yeah,
Whatever you
but
need.
MySpace,
I
man.
take PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, check, cash.
Of
So
course, a businesswoman like herself got it all.
I have read Bryant Miranda on the card. I manage him, and so I'm trying to move his tickets. But also we're looking for sponsorships. So You know, the financials of a club show, people really don't understand. Everybody thinks these club show promoters are making money, and I'm telling you, they are not. It is nearly impossible to make money just off of ticket sales.
They're literally doing it for the love.
Like, literally. And, you know, Gabriel Balderrama, he's the owner of Del Sol Boxing, you know.
Respect to him. Man, respect.
Shout out to Gabriel Balderrama,
Thank you
Del
for always
Sol
giving us
Boxing.
space for the booth.
Most
definitely.
Yeah, we appreciate that, you guys being there. But, yeah, like, so, you know, in order to keep boxing alive in Arizona, we need two things. We need ticket sales and we need sponsorships. So reach out to me. We need that help. We want to keep boxing moving in Arizona, but it is not free. And so definitely, and support these guys because they get commission off their tickets. And so
most
it's
definitely for everybody at home who's listening, that's that extra support we're gonna ask you guys to give
100%.
too, right? Man,
100%.
come out here and support these fighters. They're literally fighting for their lives when they're out there doing it, right? I mean, they put everything, blood, sweat, and tears that goes into it. Come out there, buy a ticket, and get out there and go support them, right? And for the businesses out there, you know what I mean? You know, get out there and put your business out there.
Reach out to this amazing woman, Emily Boxing. You just go ahead and do a search on whatever social media app you're on. You're gonna find her. She is a busy bee, but she always is showing support and love for her fighters and her promotional companies that she is involved with. Not her promotion, but you get the point. Listen. Sponsorship. Those of you out there that has a small business, you're trying to get that exposure. You're trying to get your name, your brand out there in some type of way. This is an opportunity locally or even regionally.
Yeah.
To get out there and show some show some love for the content of the shows and to get your name out there.
Yep. And you know, like I said, we're in Portland this upcoming week with World Fighting Championships. That's an MMA show, very well matched. We got a great matchmaker there. And
there's a lot of fights that come out of that.
Yeah, so I work with World Fighting Championships, and that basically is like almost full time by itself. So I handle all the ticketing and logistical support, the fighters, all of that. Yeah. So then after, you know, July 5th, we'll be in Vegas for Manny Pacquiao. So I help TGB Promotions with some logistical stuff, shuttles, and some of the fighter talent calls and some other little things. You know, when you see a fighter at a press conference signing the gloves, you know, they sign 100 gloves, they ship them to my house, and then we ship them to the sponsors. So I just do a lot of different things for a lot of different people. And then
you definitely stay busy and are wearing a lot of hats. I mean, props to you to be able to stay.
No, she a hustler. No, 100%. She is a hustler.
July 26th, we got Top Rank in New York, so I'm working on doing some licensing with them, and then August, hopefully we have Tank back. I don't know if that's for sure going to happen or if it's a thing or not. That's the rumor I've heard, so I don't really know the schedule. They kind of let us know, you know, case by case. And then we have this like crazy run in September where I've got September 6th, September 20th, September 27th, October 11th, and October 25th, all with World Fighting Championships. Mostly MMA, a little boxing.
Wow.
But it's going to be...
September's always nuts for fights.
Yeah.
So
August, I'm just never leaving the house. And then, you know.
Right.
Listen,
you're gonna enjoy that peace.
Yeah.
You're gonna enjoy your zen within your own.
Exactly.
I'm gonna be gone for this whole time.
Exactly.
I hear you.
And you know, it's hard to leave my family. My husband's here.
Shout out to my
husband.
Shout out to her husband off camera. Yes.
He is the best.
Very good guy. He's actually worked with us on a couple of other things in the past too, man. Mad respect.
Family business.
Listen, I'm actually gonna ask a question. Ray, you can answer off camera, and I'll let everybody know. How difficult is it to be married to somebody who's successful but has to stay that busy?
It's not very difficult at all. It's not for me. She answers the call, so that's.
Yeah.
For everybody at home, he says it's not difficult. She answers the call, so she takes care of business. Yeah. Wonderful answer, by the way.
I do try to answer the phone whenever it rings. Like 90% of the time, I think I answer the phone. But.
So listen, Emily, let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. What originally sparked your flair for boxing?
I've always liked it. Like as a kid, I was never that like. I never watched it with my dad or any of that. I don't have that history at all. So. I got into it in like my mid-20s. Like I just went to train at the gym, and I'd watch boxing with friends, that kind of thing. And then I started going to Central Boxing Gym and you know, my first bout of training was when I was like 19, 20 at Rodriguez. But then when I got more serious about it, I was like 25, 26, 27, I went to Central. And that's when I met Jose Benavides Sr. Mm-hmm. And he had Junior and David there, obviously. And he was managing the gym.
Right there,
yeah, so I helped him at that time put stuff on MySpace and YouTube about
wow,
the boys.
We going way back like that.
And I kind of made
nuggets of information.
A lot of contacts working with Junior because he got all this attention, right? Because he was kind of a prodigy at 17, getting signed by Top Rank, and so he ended up getting signed co-managing with Steven Fader in LA, and Steven had Latif Coyote, Wally Omotoso, Michael Medina. Probably somebody else that I'm forgetting.
Latif's a beast.
Yeah, and so I said, look, Steve, let me do PR. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to learn on the job, but I'll do it for free. And he said, knock yourself out. And he gave me that opportunity, and I'll tell you, like, I mean, this is in 2012. I remember going to, like, Chavez Martinez, and that was such a huge deal. Like, now I go to all the big fights, right, because I'm working, but that for me was like, oh my God, it's like a dream come true. So that was really cool.
Right. So, okay, so that was that first wow moment for you.
Yeah, I mean, there were definitely others, like, you know, where Junior was doing really well and that kind of thing, but that was...
listen, and shout out to Senior, Junior, and David Benavides. All of them out there, quality people, man.
Yeah, they're great. So, really fortunate that we've all stayed together all these years, and they still put up with me, and, you know, so we work real closely together, of course, especially during fight week. So we're planning some stuff with David, you know, coming up here before he fights, hopefully sometime in the fall.
Yeah. Like a homecoming, like a meet and greet type.
Some meet and greet stuff. We're looking at
come and meet him.
maybe going to LA for a meet and greet because he hasn't done one there, and he has a ton of fans there. So we're definitely looking at that.
Listen, he's got a ton of fans everywhere that he goes, man.
Yeah, but you know,
he's a big star. Respect on that. That's dope. It's dope. You know, that's pretty cool.
How has it been for you watching him grow and just become like? I mean, it's a quantum leap in the game, right? He's now considered a top 10 pound for pound fighter, where it's such a hard thing to break into.
Dude, it's cool as hell. Like, it's
you know
amazing.
Since he was a
kid, right?
Since a little kid, right?
Yeah, it's all these kids. You know, watching them grow up and become adults. And you know, I gotta tell you, the most rewarding thing about all of it, obviously, it's been super cool being involved in these promotions at that level. Like, absolutely, like dream come true. Like, truly dream come true. This is the shit that we prayed for, we hoped for all these years. But you know what's been the most rewarding is to see him settle down and become a father, and what a great father he is, and how dedicated he is to his children, and that fuels all of his hard work, is being the best he can be for them. And you know, it's been really an honor to watch him mature into a father, and also the way that he deals with his boxing career. He really does want to be the best. He is that throwback fighter you always wish we had all the time, you know.
100%.
He doesn't duck anybody. He doesn't. All he wants to do is
he wants that smoke. He wants all that
smoke.
Listen, 100%. And as a fan, it doesn't get more fan friendly than that, right? You have somebody who comes forward and comes with aggression and passion and heart and brings all that
and confidence.
With confidence and 100% with absolute high level skill. So it's like a mixture of all of it, all in one. And he's he's our guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, that goes an extra push for him too.
And I'll say, like, one of the things that is unique about him, or maybe it's not unique, it feels special. He is so invested in the fan experience. He wants every fan to have a good experience, and that's why, you know, we were doing the grand arrivals for one of his last fights, and one of the security guys said nobody else stopped. He stopped for every photo. You know, he doesn't.
That's amazing.
He loves that. He loves to give
he's
those
got a connection with the
people.
He's got a connection with the people's champ, man.
He always
and people appreciate that little bit of extra stuff too, man.
Yeah.
I hope he never loses that about him.
No,
That's
he
one
never
of those
will.
deals.
Anytime something comes up, like, you know, that somebody needs help, you know, he's always there. Like, he's just a really good person, and you know, I'm just so proud of all the boys. They've grown up, and you know, I'm proud of them.
So listen, let me ask you.
And Izzy, the sister.
Oh yeah, most
She's
definitely.
An incredible talent, and if you don't follow her, she's True Essence Customs on Instagram. She does custom boots for boxing.
Oh,
what a talent!
Nice.
Incredible. Like, it's just, this family is like superbly talented.
They all love it.
Yeah.
So you know, I was gonna share with you, if you don't mind, real quick. A little story. I actually shared it probably a few months back, maybe actually during the holiday time. And I couldn't remember the actual, how long ago it was, but it was a picture that I had with the Benavides family. Senior, Junior, and chubby old David at that point, because he was like a little teen.
Yes, he was.
And I was like, way back, Team AZ, representing right here. And I was like, I don't remember. She chimed in. She's like, oh, that was at, I think 2012, 2011,
Yeah.
whatever. You're like, yeah, that's when we had him over there. I was like, that's exactly where it was. Is it something that you just have it seared into your head, like every project you work, that you just know the details of where, or is it just more special because you just have more of an intimate relationship with that particular family? Because that's hard. That's hard to actually be like, oh yeah. If somebody shows me a photo, I'm like, well, I know it was in Vegas. What fight was it? Couldn't even tell you.
Normally, I'm like that. I think in that case, just because I have been so intimately involved, but like, I'll look back, I'll get memories come up and stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. So there's definitely times interviews, a lot of the times, I set these up with these guys and I don't go for whatever reason, like they're in another state or whatever, and I'll forget, like, who the person was, so I don't have a very good memory. I smoke a lot of weed, if I'm being honest.
420 in front of his house, you know it.
So, yeah, my short-term memory is not great, and so I have to make a lot of notes.
There you go. That's what's up.
I'm like the guy on Memento tattooing on my
Listen, let me ask you a different question, right? So we were asking about some of the feelings that you had as you were getting started with all that, right? And some of the emotional attachment that you have to it.
Sure.
As you've now progressed within the industry, do you still have that same enamorment and love for it as you did at the beginning? And then the second part of this question for me would be, how long after you started doing it did you actually look and go, hey, I actually now know what I'm doing and I'm feeling like now I'm showing fruit?
Good question.
Okay, so your first question was, again, short-term memory.
First question is, do you still have the same drive and passion?
Yeah, I would say so. I go through phases, like last weekend I was in the depths of hell because we had a show that lasted till like 11 at night, and I'm old, and my flight was at 6 in the morning, so I had to leave the hotel at like 3 because I had to get this guy to the airport too. And on those days, I'm like, I want a regular job. I want to go sit in front of a computer, and a lot of my phone rings all hours of every day, holidays, doesn't matter. And sometimes I want to throw it in the pool. Like, there are days where I'm like, bro, I just want to be a normal person that has a normal job that you check out at the end of the day and you're done. But, like, then I'm like, what are you even talking about? This is what I dreamed about. This is what I've worked for 15 years to be able to do. So I'm literally living out my dreams. Like, what the fuck? Why would I be, excuse my language. Am I allowed to swear?
No, you're allowed to. You're allowed to.
Absolutely.
We are, but you'll hear a couple beeps later on. You're okay.
All right. So, yeah, like, I look at my life, and I hate to kind of romanticize it, but like, I have the best life.
Yeah, look. When you're on the outside looking in, like we are, and we see your life, we're like, holy shit! Like that's what we would want to be doing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
There's days, of course, where I'm like, oh, this sucks. And there's been tough shows, Yeah. This last show was like a Friday the 13th. It was literally Friday the 13th. And we had a guy get arrested at court that day. Got out. Guy got stuck in immigration 15 hours. Another guy was overweight. It's just, there's definitely days where you're like, oh, sucks, but
I do know it goes above and beyond that. You're saying like you're blessed and you're living the dream and stuff. But I know a lot is regarding the core of the family.
Well, that's the thing.
I know you got a solid support system within the household. And shout out to my man's over there again. You know what I'm saying? Like
what's your husband's name?
Louis.
That's a beautiful thing.
Louis. Shout out to Louis, man. Big up, bro.
Louis, that's what, like, I'm sitting in my house, right? Look at him. Like, he likes me. Look at how hot he is. Sorry. I know it makes it more comfortable for me to say that. But then, like, we got our son who's so healthy despite having his birth defect he was born with. We got our kids are grown up and they're doing great things in the world and they're good people. And we got our house and we got, we sit out by the pool. We live a good life. Like, emotionally, physically, like, and, doing what we love or what I love, he supports me in that. Like, we're home with my son. If we want to go, he's having something at school, we're there every time.
Yeah, that's an amazing thing. It brings a balance to your life because you're able to do it. You're able to do it with the person you love, and he's supporting of it. Look, I can relate. Much love to my wife at home, my wife Michelle. She supports me in everything that I do to the fullest, and that makes it so much of a difference. Yeah. On the outside looking in, sometimes people think that she's not supporting because she's very critical of the things we do. But that's on the outside looking in. When she's being critical, she knows that that's gonna make me actually look at it, and it's gonna make my product better in the end. And that's the love that I could definitely relate to that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So listen, second part of that question, at least for me, was more asking like, I don't know, how do you word that there, right? So within the love, you still have the love for the fight game, right? But how long was it for you before you actually said, okay, I know what I'm doing, and I now feel like what I'm doing is giving me fruits. I got this.
And like you mentioned earlier,
you
went to
at some
Central.
point, right?
You went to Central.
Listen, that is
you
coming
went to
at some
Central,
point.
You're like, let me do the PR. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna figure this shit out. What he's asking is basically, when do you actually feel? Because
well, she answered it, man. She answered it. That's about as honest of an answer as it is.
This woman has her fighters in the front of magazines, newspaper stands. She's sitting there behind the curtains with all the bells and whistles of any pay-per-view events that you can think of. She's been through from the top to the local fight scale. Like you do it all.
Yeah.
And the fact that you do it at that level and still continuously do it at the local state level and show love to these fighters clearly shows that you, no pun intended, you do it for the love of boxing.
Yeah, no, I absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's crazy because you do love the sport. Like, you love it.
And I'm attached to the kids. I gotta be honest with you. Like, these kids are like, they're like my kids. Like, this guy's telling me, Adrian's still in here telling me what he's going through. I'm gonna get emotional because I don't want to hear about them hurting. I want to hear them, I want to see them be successful and happy in their lives and grow with their families and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, I'm a crybaby, obviously, sorry. But I do get...
No apologies for that. I'm a huge crybaby myself.
I do get super, attached to these guys. I can't help it.
How could you not? How could you not, right? You're being involved in their life, in their future, and every aspect of it going forward, and then you get a chance to see them succeed when they're doing well in it. I mean, I don't see how you could not be emotional with that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to tell you the truth, as a fan of what you do, thank you for doing that job.
Yeah,
because you're now making it so that we're getting a chance to see these young lions who they may not have had that opportunity if you hadn't been in their life at one point, right? So you're responsible for what we're seeing now too. It's an amazing thing, and I want to thank you for that too.
I appreciate that, but these guys are the ones that do the heavy lifting, if we're being honest. Like, my little part in the background, is just to support what they're doing.
Listen, but it's not as little as you think, because they do the fighting part, but you give them that stage. You give
them that light. You give them that projection to be able to actually be exposed. Because guess what? That cliche saying is, if you build it, they will come. It's a bust. It's not real. It's not true. Like, you can do whatever you can, but if nobody's looking, if nobody hears about it, there's nothing that can be done. And that's where I know you come into play. You fight. You go at battle. You push events, the promotional companies you are affiliated with, the fighters, and it goes above and beyond that. Like, you I just don't think people understand. Like, seriously, I got nothing but respect for this woman here, Emily Boxing. She has been putting in the work. She's a boxing fixture. You just don't see her face all the time because she's behind the curtains. But I promise you, a lot of those cats that you actually are fans of, they know who she is, 100%.
Yeah.
No, listen, and we appreciate that too. Be perfectly honest, for me, I actually had a moment, a hoorah moment, or a blessed moment, as you could say, when it sticks out in your mind and you go, damn, actually somebody knew who I was. And you were that moment for me, actually. When we were at the Celebrity Theater, you actually said, hey, and he said, hey, this is my partner Carlos. And you said, no, I know Guapo Damas.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I had to stop raving about that moment for like months after. I couldn't believe that you knew who I was. And to me, that was a very special thing. Thank you for that.
She loves boxing.
It is. Listen, Miss Emily, thank you so much for giving us this time to do such an amazing interview. Look, you got the world listening now. What is going to be your message? And give me some shout outs and give me your message to the world as they're listening. Tell me what you got going.
Camera's right there. Go ahead.
Get your tickets for WFC 177 in Portland at WFCfights.com. Or any of our future shows. We got Portland, Spokane, Fargo, Laughlin, Seattle coming
everywhere.
up.
That's nice.
Get your tickets for Del Sol Boxing through me, Emily Boxing, or Adrian, but mostly me. I'm interviewing right now. And hit me up for sponsorships. We need your support. If you're trying to get into the business, keep hustling, keep fighting, keep working. You'll get there. Call me if you want advice or help. I'm always here to open my ears and mouth and doors for people if they want to talk about, what's next for them. And and the other thing we're working on is the Arizona Boxing Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah,
yes, that's right.
That we're kind of getting that ball rolling, so we're hoping to do our first induction in the fall. So
Listen,
we're working very hard on that.
keep us informed as that keeps going on. Oh my God, if we can help in any way,
we got a great group of people. We got Tony Alvidrez, the ref, Mary Rose, Wilcox, just a staple and legend of Arizona boxing. We've got Bruce Trampler, International Boxing Hall of Fame matchmaker from Top Rank. He, they did shows for years and years and years here at Celebrity Theater. And so he's done a lot of research. He was like microfiche in the library type research. So he's going to bring a big thing. We'd like to do, we're talking about doing maybe not a podcast, but like basically oral histories with all of the different, refs and boxers, like old, all these older folks that, they're going to die at some point. Sorry to be morbid. But
it is. But their story is important.
Or even those
get that story out. Most definitely.
And stuff.
Hell yeah. So the other thing is, and I haven't talked to anybody about this, but I noticed that Central Boxing Gym got vandalized on the mural. Yeah, huge bummer. So I'm gonna be
shame on you.
Follow me at Emily Boxing because I'm gonna reach out to them and see what needs to happen, and I'll do a fundraiser. I'll do whatever to get that fixed because that's such an important thing in Arizona boxing. So.
And those of you guys don't know what that's at. That's on just off of 18th Avenue in Van Buren, right?
Yep, and you see the mural on the
It's a
side.
picture, and it has some of the legendary, iconic fighters who's been through that gym.
Yep, and through Arizona boxing, we got Norm Fraunheim, the legendary reporter, on there. We got Mary Rose. Benavides, the whole fam's on there.
The family on there,
Yep, and
of
so
course, the great Michael Carbajal,
Louis Espinoza, Al Fenn. It's got, and that's kind of been our Hall of Fame. So
that's been the wall.
There's no doubt about it. That wall is the Hall of Fame.
That's a shame that it was vandalized.
Yeah, it really pissed me off when I saw it. I gotta be honest with you. Because what are you doing? It's shitty. So.
Great messages to have. Like I said, once again, thank you so much for coming down here, giving us the chance to interview you. Hopefully you'll come back again and let us interview you again after some of the fights for Del Sol and some of the events with MMA that are taking place for you in Portland. We'd love to see how that turns out.
As you will allow. And again, I know it. When you are home, you want to stay home.
Watch. I'm going to start showing up every Friday, and you guys are going to be like, she's back. I'll be out there.
Bring it. Bring it. Again, real quick, I always want to give a shout out to this is my homie right here. You guys listen. I can't even remember how far back when I first met this woman. She helped me get situated, positioned into starting to set up vendor booths when I just had one table, one little setup. And she got me on board and assisted. And it was a long time ago. And I'll never forget that. And she helped make it so smooth. And I felt so, I don't know, for lack of better words, like he just mentioned regarding with her too, like I felt so like, yes. And it was just the beginning. I keep pushing and hustling. We're, you guys see us, we're everywhere.
Yeah.
But mad respect. On the big time level, what I mean is that on the pro level, the first time I ever set up outside of an amateur event was at the Celebrity Theater. And I have you to thank for it.
Oh.
And I thank you.
Hey, you know
and
what?
We still doing it.
When you guys do a table, that's a huge support. So even if you're out there and you want to have a vendor table, we can be creative. Let's do a vendor table because that actually is a huge support for the event. You don't understand, that's a big support.
Yeah, most definitely.
You're doing us a favor, we appreciate you.
That's what's up, love.
Listen, Emily, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for being our guest today. Follow her, Emily Boxing, on every format. You already heard her say. Emily Boxing. Follow her. Get them tickets, y'all.
Facebook. She is boss. I love this woman, y'all. 4luvofboxing. We are so blessed to have you. Once again, Emily Boxing, everybody.